There are a lot of timelines where I wouldn't even have bothered reviewing the product that I'm going to show you today. This is a new bind and fly drone kit, ready to fly. It's already pre-bound, ready to go. You got the drone, you got the batteries, you got a little charger, you got a controller, you got a goggles, all with the Caddx FPV system in it. But here is why I'm reviewing this, and even if you're not interested in this product, you need to pay attention to this video. This does not have the Walksnail FPV video system in it. It is a new system from Caddx called Ascent, and it's not compatible with existing Walksnail systems. So what in the hell is even going on here? Is Caddx abandoning the Walksnail system? Or is this some new parallel system? I don't actually entirely know, but I'm going to do my best to get the bottom of it. And yes, we will also look at this drone kit, although depending on what FPV system it's got in it and what you can do with it, it might not even matter how good the kit is. I'm Joshua Bardwell, and you're going to learn something today. I'm hopefully also going to learn something today. I guess we'll know by the end of the video. This is the Caddx FPV Protos FPV Fly Combo. You can fly bold while young. I love Chinese marketing. It's fantastic. The idea behind this kit, according to Caddx's marketing material, which they gave to me, is that this is targeted towards beginners. It is a way to get into FPV with a reasonably good performance drone, reasonably good video system, kind of like people say, just buy a DJI kit and out of the box it'll just work. There's no BS, no nonsense, no configuration. You can just fly and enjoy it. And Caddx is going after that market. It is interesting to me that this is branded as Caddx FPV and not Walksnail, but they've done that before, like with the Caddx Go Film drone, right? So it wouldn't be the first time that a Caddx drone had a Walksnail video system in it. But as I said earlier, this is not the Walksnail video system. We'll get to that. So the kit comes in this cool little box, and it's got all the things that you could want. We've got some goggles, which look suspiciously like the Caddx or the Walksnail Goggles L. We have got a controller, which doesn't look like anything I've ever seen before. It seems to be new. We'll play with that. We've got a little drone. That's fine. It looks like it's got a downward-facing sensor. Does that mean it's going to have optical flow and position hold? We'll find out when we fly it. And we have a battery charger. Oh, and a little battery for the goggles. It looks very similar to the DJI DJI battery pack, although I do have to point out it has an XT30 connector in it, not a USB. So there you go. So we can just plug that sucker in there, and we plug this. Where's it plug in? There it is. Plug in right there. Do they turn on immediately, or do they have a power button? Well, they haven't turned. Oh, it's like, yeah, the power button is on the battery pack. There we go. They power up. And we take the drone and we slide the battery in. Very cool. Well, it's a DL Heli or whatever, standard ESC firmware, as you might hope. And I guess we should turn the controller on as well. Okay, just hold. There we go. Presumably, are we searching? There we go. Went solid. I presume that means we're connected. And we should have video. Yes, we do. We have video. You can't see in there, but we do have video. And we have OSD. For the controller, we've got a beeper button. And it's a toggle. You don't hold it down. You just click it once to beep and once to stop beeping. We've got turtle mode here. And again, is it? Yeah, you just press once. You don't hold it down. And then it goes into turtle mode. We have the flight mode switch here. And we have rates, dual rates here. And we've got arm, disarm here. So pretty standard stuff. Unfortunately, there is no HDMI output on these goggles. In fact, as far as I can tell, there's no video output whatsoever. So I'm just going to have to hold my phone camera up to the screen. But you can see, if you're familiar with the Walksnail video system, that the interface is identical. If I bring up the menu, this will all look very familiar to you. If we go through the settings, we can see some similarities and some differences. First of all, notice that the transmit power defaults to 25 milliwatts, and if you're new here, you're going to want to crank that up as high as it'll go. Unfortunately, it only goes up to 100 milliwatts. So we'll see what kind of range that gives us in real life. But that's not even as high as the Walksnail 1S video transmitter, which goes up to 350 milliwatts. The frame rate, very interestingly, is either 60 or 50 frames per second. I guess for PAL? I don't know, but it doesn't go to a higher frame rate, so the latency is going to be a little bit higher. We have a resolution, 1080p or 720p. If I go to 720, can I then change to a higher frame rate? No, it's the same frame rate. Okay, we'll change that back the way it was delivered. And then for bandwidth, we can either have 20 or auto or 10. We can't have 40 megabits per second. So 20, that's going to equate to about 25 megabits per second bit rate. And for 1080p, that's pretty low, but we'll fly it as delivered and see what the results are. I guess the next thing we should do is take it outside and fly it. Oh, this is ultra low rates. It's so low. It's ultra beginner mode. I can't even attempt it. Oh God, it's such low rates. There seems to be a lot of expo too. Let's try another. It's a little faster. Even the fastest rates aren't ultra fast, so. Okay, let's see how she's flying okay. What happens when the signal breaks up? Fly behind the house, the signal gets shitty. Do I have a... Oh, we've gone to focus mode. Interesting. It goes black on the sides. It's not just focus mode, it just goes literally black. How about that? That's... In some ways, I think that's better than focus mode, where the sides go blurry, because like it's really clear what's happening. That's interesting. Okay, what about flight mode? So this is acro. Here's angle. And that is full stick deflection there. So it's very forgiving for beginners. Very forgiving. And here, let's try pause hold. Ready? Okay, hands off the sticks. Oh, that's not a good pause hold. Oh gosh, it's struggling. Let's get a little closer to the ground maybe. Oh, altitude seems to be working. There we go. I think it didn't have a good view of the ground. It's still drifting. I'll push the stick over. How about, are we pause holding yet? Okay, we're sort of pause. There we go. I think we got a pause hold. There, position hold is working. Kinda, sorta. It's drifting a lot. It's drifting a lot. My altitude is 1.2 meters, so it's supposed to work up to 2 meters off the ground. I'm about 1 meter off the ground. Would not say this is a very effective pause hold at all. We're not really holding position. I mean, if I put it in angle mode, does it drift less? Oh, okay, so we have altitude hold for sure. It was doing a good job with the altitude. Yeah. Pause hold. There we go. I think it depends a lot on the texture below it, whether the optical flow does a good job. Optical flow works by taking basically a photograph of the ground beneath it and then using that to determine position. Let's get closer to the ground. Does it get any better? I mean, I can't get much closer than 1 meter. Can I get any? 0.8 meters. It's doing a good job of holding altitude, I'll tell you that. As far as position, it's doing a terrible job. I mean, there's something to be said for holding altitude, though. Yeah, like I'm completely hands off the stick right now. It's drifting like crazy, but I can steer it and fly it while it maintains altitude, can't I? Can I? Oh gosh. Oh, did it break out? Oh, I don't know what's going on. No, no, it's not happy. It's not happy. Oh, the battery's dying. Oh, God, don't go in though. Don't go in there. Can I go down here? 100 milliwatts, huh? Oh, it's okay. I mean, that's... Honestly, I'm pretty impressed with that range if 100 milliwatts is accurate. To be able to go this far, I don't want to walk and retrieve it, but like video is holding in just fine. I'm pretty impressed if that's 100 milliwatts. There we go. Okay, it's getting bad. It's getting shitty. That's coming back. That's a nice warning. That those black bars are a nice warning. Hey, you're about to lose it. And it honestly flies okay. It flies pretty okay. Hanging in there, going behind the cabin. No, I did not buy a tractor. Just in case you're wondering. It's hanging in real good going behind the cabin. Going through here. I haven't even turned my head to face this direction. Oh, it's getting bad. It's getting bad. Can he make it? It's real bad. It's real bad. Oh, God. The lag is bad. The lag is bad. Can he make it out? He did make it out. Ooh, that was pretty bad. Overall, though, I'd say the range of the video is better than expected for 100 milliwatts and comparable to other very small drones in this size class. The flight characteristics are better than average. Lag, major lag there. I was trying to time that as I just as I went by the pallet forks to whip around, and it was just lagging the fuck out. I don't know what was happening there. So not like an ultra high performance racing type video link for sure. Oh, really got to get on that throttle. Oh yeah. Oh God. Oh God. Yeah, it's a little 2S. It's not a 5-inch. Definitely has the throttle response of a little whoop style drone. Oh God. It's really hard to line up these like anything remotely precise. Like I was trying to fly past here and sort of dive into a turn, and just the timing seems way off. It seems really like 30, I don't know what's going on. 30 milliseconds of lag is completely flyable, but something feels very weird about this as I'm trying to go even like remotely fast and see, it feels like I'm constantly behind the curve. I don't know, like right here, I looked like I was about to hit that post and I tried to throttle up, but by the time I reacted, it had already gone by. So I don't know if there's something inconsistent about the lag, or if the lag is actually higher than it seems, than is being reported. But as soon as I get the least bit of speed, it becomes very difficult to do. I always feel like I'm way behind the curve as I'm doing sort of even remote precision maneuvers. I'm not talking about like last minute dives into tiny gaps. I'm just talking about little kind of reacting to the environment in any sort of way. Yeah, no. As soon as I get speed, it's very difficult. If this system had the Walksnail video system, here's how I would review it. The flight characteristics of the drone itself are pretty good. Not spectacular. It's not an acro monster, but that's not what it's intended to be. As a reasonably decent flying drone for a beginner, though, it's above average. I've seen so many of these little micro drones intended for beginners, and they just fly like absolute dog it the minute you push them the tiniest bit. This one you can push a little bit. It's a little bit heavy for its thrust. You have to get on the throttle a little bit sooner as if you're trying to do like acro moves, but overall it flies pretty decent. When you put it in the POSHOLD mode, it doesn't seem to pause hold very well at all, but it does altitude hold pretty well, and that certainly is something that beginners struggle with. It's nice to be able to just click it into that mode, kind of as an, oh crap, as long as you're within 2 meters of the ground, because again, once you get far enough off the ground, the altitude hold isn't going to work. It doesn't have a GPS. It just has a little rangefinder facing down. I don't know if it's sonar, I would guess. Maybe it's laser, IR, I don't know. But once it gets so far above ground, it can't detect its altitude anymore. Still, not a bad drone, all things considered. The video link. The video link got really surprisingly good range for 100 milliwatts of output power. Now, we're taking it at their word that that's an honest 100 milliwatts. Sometimes systems will say 100 milliwatts, but they'll actually be outputting higher, and that explains why they have better than average range. Regardless, it has pretty decent video range for something of this size. And some of that does seem to be due to the way that this novel Ascent video system is handling the video link. It definitely has very different behavior than the Walksnail system. This is not just Walksnail with a different name on it. The way that it breaks up, the way that the image handles, as it gets weaker, the way that it handles the image detail, it doesn't have that Walksnail smeary, smoky effect. And honestly, I felt like it did a better job. I felt like most of the time when I was looking at the image, I was getting a better looking, more stable image with more usable detail than I do with the Walksnail system. It feels like it's a step in the right direction. However, the latency was terrible. I know that the number at the bottom of the screen only said 30 milliseconds, and maybe that's true, but whenever I tried to do more precise moves, as I got even the littlest bit of speed, I always felt like I was incredibly behind the curve. This is not going to be a video system, at least in its current iteration, that is usable for racing or precision freestyle, but this is intended for beginners, so maybe that's okay, but I wasn't going that fast in the times when I was trying to do something semi-precise. A beginner's going to start out going slow and just as slow as possible, and the latency won't matter. But a beginner will hopefully eventually reach a point where they try and push the system a little bit. And I didn't feel like the video system was really very usable once you got to even moderate speed. So who knows? Could it get better? The very first version of the Walksnail system was kind of dog shit, and it got way, way better to the point where it was really pretty freaking good. Maybe this system will do that as well. As far as the goggles go, well, it's pretty much just the Goggles L, and I have a whole video review of the Goggles L, although this does have the Ascent video system in it instead of the Walksnail video system, so that's going to be different. But in terms of fit and finish, the goggles were not very comfortable. If you have glasses, you absolutely have to buy the lens insert. I'll put a link in the video description below to where you can buy that. You give them your prescription, they cut you a custom insert, and it screws right in here in front of the lens because you really can't fit my glasses are not very big and they still won't fit under there. Maybe somebody's could. But here's the main reason. I don't think anybody should be even thinking about buying this system today in 2025. And it's not just that no one's told me what the price is going to be yet. So how could you even decide if you wanted to buy it without knowing the price? The reason is that at this time, this is the only drone, and these are the only goggles that support the Caddx Ascent video system. When you buy a beginner drone like this, the assumption is that you're going to use it to get into the hobby, and you want to buy a goggle and a video transmitter that will give you room to grow and to expand. And at this time, that doesn't exist. You cannot buy a standalone video transmitter for this system. Not that you necessarily would want to, given the way the latency on this one at least performs. I would want to, if Caddx was to release a standalone Ascent video transmitter today and a standalone set of Ascent goggles today, I would still want to test them out to see if the latency could be improved or if it's going to be the same as this. It's really unacceptable once you start trying to do higher performance flying. But that doesn't exist. And we've all seen Walksnail promise to deliver certain products, and then sometimes they deliver, and sometimes it's months and months and years, and they never deliver. And so we cannot, even if It was a company with a reliable history of releasing products when they say they will. I still wouldn't buy in until the product actually existed, because you just never freaking know. But especially a company like Caddx and or Walksnail, which are kind of the same company and kind of not, I wouldn't base any buying decision on their promise of future products. And they haven't promised that they're going to put out an Ascent video transmitter and Ascent goggles. They haven't said anything about that. There's just, hi, here's this drone. It's new. It's for beginners. And taken at face value, maybe at a certain price point, this would make sense for beginners. Although it's really on the edge, given the way that the link doesn't work once you start pushing performance just a little bit. But maybe it would make sense, but I would not even consider buying this, knowing that this is the only drone I can buy today that has this system in it. So I have nowhere to go. I've spent whatever I spend on this system, and that's the end. But why? Why did Caddx even do that? Why have they done this? Why isn't this just a Walksnail 1S VTX? They could have put a Walksnail 1S VTX in this drone and released this exact same system. What a crazy decision that they've made, which absolutely is going to enrage their existing customer base. By the way, there's no indication that they're giving up on the original Walksnail system, except why would you do this if you weren't planning to go a different direction? Now everybody is pissed off and confused and wondering what the hell's going on. What does this mean for the existing Walksnail system, which does depend on the Artisan chip? It doesn't necessarily mean that it's end of life. Presumably, Walksnail can keep buying that chip and keep producing that system. But the fact that they're going this direction, it kind of makes you wonder, like if you're going steady with your partner and then one day they go out to dinner with their old boyfriend, girlfriend from college, you got to wonder, right? It kind of makes you wonder, is Caddx/Walksnail stepping out, and do they intend to put an end to the existing system? At the very least, as a user of the existing Walksnail system, you've got to be looking over, like that meme of the dude looking back at the girl on the street and his girlfriend is like, huh? Right? You got to be looking over and going, Caddx, what are you doing putting development resources into this completely new, completely non-compatible system? Instead of giving me the thing, remember when V2 of the Walksnail system was supposed to come out in August of 2024, and the Goggles X had a modular radio board that was going to be upgradable? I think we can all assume that's not going to happen unless it's upgradable to the new Ascent system. I don't know. It's all speculation at this point, but I got to tell you, as a Walksnail customer, I would be extremely curious, to put it bluntly, to put it lightly, about what Walksnail and Caddx's intents are with this future system. And that's it. To sum up, don't buy this. Don't buy this because you're buying into a system that currently is at a dead end. It does not go any further. It's interesting. It's got some pros. It's got some cons. It's got some room to improve. But right now, you should not buy an FPV video system that doesn't have a future. And what the hell is that? Well, it's not DJI, not in the United States, because DJI is not in the United States, and it's not. I think it's going to be banned in December, and I don't think it's coming back. Is it the Walksnail V1 system? You could get the Pro kit that I reviewed from Rotor Riot with the 1S Walksnail. That's a pretty good kit, and there's a full band of video transmitters. But then if Walksnail is going to end of life those, then is that a dead end? I would at least have to think about the possibility of that. Is it analog? Are we just back to analog after this little dalliance with digital from 2019 to 2025, 2026? Are we all just back to analog? Is that what beginners should buy? Well, if you're interested in some other beginner kits, I'll put 2 cards on screen, one to the Walksnail beginner kit and one to an analog beginner kit. I don't even know what beginner kit it's going to be. It's probably some old video that I released a long time ago, and who knows if you should even buy that product, but in the interest of giving you something else to look at from here and some idea of what you can get as a beginner with a ready-to-fly kit, there you go. Or, no, wait, you shouldn't buy a beginner kit. You should just build one yourself. That's what you should do. Build your own drone. Don't buy it ready to fly. You don't want that. You got to learn to build your own drone. I'm going to put a link to my beginner build tutorial. That's it. And the Walksnail kit, because it is pretty good. Although the price has gone way up since it was like $500 and now it's like $700. And Here are those cards, and links down below if for some reason you can't see the cards. I'll see you there.